Hello, this is Dr. Mary again. I am going to be providing a brief introduction and instructions to the first participation or PowerPoint assignments that you will have in our Top Hat course platform. And these are still based on part one of the course, which is the historical portion of the course, and it is the pre-colonial part of the course, as opposed to the historical colonial, right? When we're looking into what was happening in the era of colonization itself. So I am just getting the captions ready. And again, this video will be pretty brief and to the point, unlike the course overview video. So this, as you can see, this is our Top Hat teaching engagement platform. This is our Top Hat course shell. Unfortunately, it is an 8-week course. It's not a 6-week course. So that was an oversight on my part. But before we go into the teaching, the teaching engagement platform, and I'll show you how interactive it is, how user-friendly it is. I'm going to start out by going back to our course shell on Canvas. So the way that materials are organized is that the reading materials, the assignment instructions, the syllabus, they are all located on our Canvas course shell. And as you can see, the week 2 readings from which the PowerPoint, or what I call participation assignments, are derived from in our Top Hat course shell. So what that means is, even though there are no reading multiple choice questions associated with the readings, because the reading multiple choice questions will come up in the unit exams. So that's where the readings are super critical. And as important as they are for your reading in order to learn, in order to be able to maximize your learning and your understanding of key takeaways from each week's readings, it's also going to be important to access these readings in order to complete unit exams. And of course, what I will be doing is, for the reading multiple choice questions and unit exams, I will actually title the questions with the title of the reading itself that the question is derived from. So what I encourage you to do with how the flow works for this course is to access the readings before going into our Top Hat course shell. So as you can see, part one, I've got the really videos, a variety of questions that get into pre-colonial civilizations and societies and empires throughout the continent of Africa, what is through Asia, the current day United States, and also current day what's also historically called as Mesoamerica, or current day Mexico and portions of Central America. Getting into those great empires, getting into the actual origins of modern humanity, which physical anthropologists, evolutionary geneticists have actually located as being in sub-Saharan Africa, and more recently in Ethiopia. So the way this works is, once I assign, I may add a few more details, even though I think I'll go ahead and leave it at this for the first unit. The way that I organize assignments in the course, especially connected directly to the readings, is that in a scaffolded way. So what I mean by that is they get more complex, more questions that require kind of more analysis without going in critical thinking, as well as reflection, so that you can, part of learning is learning new skills, learning how to do something. And then the other key component of learning is what we're learning, right? It's the content. And so part of the skill that you're acquiring is one that is a part of intellectual rigor, of habits of mind, and it's learning how to think, how to analyze, how to reflect within more of a critical decolonial ethnic studies framework. I don't expect you to know how to do that from the very first assignment, right? So it's a matter of building up that skill as you continue to build up your background knowledge, right, in the course. And so once this has been assigned based on those first presentations, as you can see, I'm going to go out of, let me get out of this. The first unit, and the units are just based on the weeks. So units are going to contain key takeaways from a variety of the readings. And as you can see here, I have part one named the same, with the same title, the same kind of designation as what is indicated or specified on the syllabus. So I'm going to go back up to week one. And as you can see here in the syllabus with the assigned readings, of course, I'm going to already have the readings assigned to you in the modules so that you don't have to actually refer back to the syllabus, and even except in the instance where some of the readings are connected to, you access them through a URL. That's a little different. You can't access them on the syllabus as I've got it posted. So I just made like do a page and then add the link onto the module that's organized by week. So as you can see here, the course is divided into 4 parts. Well, 2 parts and 4 sections. Part one is historical, part two is contemporary, and then within each part, the parts are divided into 2 kind of subsections: pre-colonial, colonialism, then part 2, contemporary, is looking at critical topics and current issues. And so the reason why week 2 is labeled as part 1, historical pre-colonial, is because that's on our Top Hat teaching platform, is because that's how it's labeled on the syllabus, as a part of how the course is organized itself and as a part of how the readings are organized. So you can see that the 2 readings where there is a PowerPoint and a longer course overview video that is connected directly, stems directly from these 2 readings, starting with week 2, which is April 10th to 17th. These are all of the readings that are being referenced in your first week of doing the participation, or the PowerPoint assignments that are directly stemming from these readings and doing a deeper dive into these readings. So that's just to show you where the title or the label in Top Hat is coming from. It's coming directly from the syllabus. And then in the modules, it's really straightforward, because week 2 readings, all of those readings that are on the syllabus, are listed on the syllabus, are actually provided here. And obviously the readings on the syllabus, the full citations are also provided on the syllabus. And so I encourage you to do these readings before going into the Top Hat unit. And what I will do is, it's very easy in order to assign these, and I can only assign the materials in Top Hat when I'm not presenting in it. So I just wanted to show you that. This is a folder that has historic pre-colonial civilizations. I've also added the title of long histories, because within ethnic studies, we are an academic discipline that believes in long histories and long futures. And we mean long histories as predating colonization, land conquest, genocide, chattel slavery, right? Jim Crow segregation. It's to the current white supremacist present, right? colonized, right, imperialized present, the histories of peoples throughout the world, including pre-colonizing, pre-Christian Europe, predates colonization by thousands of years, many thousands of years. And that's the starting point for ethnic studies, and that's specifically the starting point for racial and ethnic experiences, is to understand that even though we have had particular kinds of constructions of hierarchies throughout the world built on a system of global colonization, and everything stemming from that, past and present, is that societies, vast majority that have endured for exponentially longer, right, including on the continent of Europe, than the current day form of these societies, that this was the case for thousands of years. To put the last 500 years in perspective, and to understand that these social constructions, albeit not without a lot of resistance, a lot of conditioning, they're always changing and evolving over time. And part of that is because of the pushback against them. And part of the pushback means decolonizing our minds. That means with knowledge. When we know where we come from, right, when we're rooted, we know our ancestry, we bring our ancestors into the present day. Our ancestors are living within us and alongside of us. And that is a wellspring of power and healing and transformation within an ethnic studies, a deep, holistic ethnic studies understanding. So as you can see, the way that it's set up in Top Hat is that you will literally walk, like I start out with not as many slides, and I really start out with sharing videos and also content and information that is demonstrating these long histories throughout the continent of Africa, Asia, and current day North, Central, and South America. And so you will be able to watch the videos right within Top Hat. And what I encourage you to do is to first read the questions before watching the video, because you can literally pause and restart the video based on the questions. So for example,
next, a
starting
PBS documentary series.
And so, through according to scholar and Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates, where do notions of Africa come from in the US? So I have to edit it to access it because it's on the instructor end, but you'll actually have the, you'll be able to answer it on your end because you're seeing it on the student end.
Africa's Great Civilizations. Audie Cornish of NPR's All Things Considered has our look.
The history of the African continent, home to 15% of the world's population, remains a mystery for many. Historian and Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates Jr. admits in his youth it was a place he rarely considered. Now he has a new PBS documentary series that reveals great moments in the continent's pre-colonial history. It's called Africa's Great Civilizations. He joins me now to discuss that work. Henry Louis Gates Jr., welcome to the program.
Thanks.
So again, if he had already stated the answer, I would have paused it and then answered. And so you go through all of and here are, I have some images depicting the empires and civilizations that are referenced in those first readings for week 2. I also have some additional images of the Songhai Empire, the Mali, and what is current day Mali, and Timbuktu, which was a world-renowned, world-class city, literally, historically, and still currently would be considered in its glory, right, thousands of years ago, would still be considered a world-class city. And so some information about Timbuktu, And then I have actually included a supplemental reading based on this renowned city in the medieval African Empire during the medieval era of Mali. And so again, the reading is here. I suggest that it's a little tricky because the reading is in top hat. I suggest, again, you go down, you read the questions first, and then you go up and one by one until you find the answer. Where is Timbuktu located? So Timbuktu is a city in Mali. It's still existent to the current day. This is about, actually about 2,000 years ago that it was founded. So, right, so and there's additional, I like to integrate maps. Then we shift to great civilizations of Asia, and then we shift to the Western Hemisphere with looking at the vast range of nations, Native American, what's called First Nationer in current day Canada, Native American or American Indian in current day US, indigenous, right, throughout Mexico, Central and South America. The range of these nations, including empires, right, that rival those that were in place in Europe at the time. And so to get a frame of reference, looking at the pre-contact population, it's really important because this gives us the scale of the genocide that took place as a result of a couple of 100 years of colonization and conquest. But again, we're starting out the timeline at the pre-colonial era. So in relation to the current day, what is called North and South America and Central America, 40,000 years ago, right? We're taking the timeline back into distant modern human history. And then of course, wrapping up this unit with the great civilizations of Mesoamerica, including the Olmec, the Zapotecs, and the Mayans. So again, I encourage you to read the questions first, then going up, and this is a multiple choice. That's a fill in the blank, right? That's a multiple choice. That's a fill. So anyway, I encourage you to read the questions first, and then pause the video to answer the question and submitting it before going on to the next one. So this is the week 2 top hat PowerPoint kind of key takeaway presentation questions that consist of supplemental videos and a supplemental reading, including some PowerPoint slides that are really emphasizing and foregrounding some of the key content in those readings that are assigned to you in the week 2 module on our Canvas course shell. And that concludes the presentation for the week 2 readings.